almost felt like, hey, man, they're just a day late and $1 short in this game, and they were chasing the game all day.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But here's the deal on it. I think you have to keep reminding yourself.
The NFL world woke up stunned after Super Bowl LX, not because Seattle walked away with the win, but because the Patriots were supposed to be the ones everybody feared, the ones who flipped the entire AFC upside down in just one historic season. As multiple league insiders claim, the Patriots entered the championship game with more momentum than any team in football, fueled by Drake Maye's freakish postseason run, Mike Vrabel's culture overhaul, and a roster that had suddenly turned into a straight-up nightmare for anybody lining up against them. But the story that rocked the league wasn't Seattle's victory. It was how the Patriots lost and why every expert still believes this squad is built to dominate the next era of football. Reports coming out of league offices early this morning confirm NFL executives were legitimately terrified of what the Patriots were about to unleash over the next 5 years.
Seattle dominated this game.
Totally.
I mean, New England couldn't make an inch for most of this game.
Right.
You look up 9-0 at half, and even after those big pass plays, it's 12-0.
Yep.
There's a quarter and a half to play. So it just kind of keep hanging in there, keep hanging in there. The way these games spiral downward is when you start making some desperation plays, you're holding it for too long, the sack fumbles start to happen, and that's when the whole thing unravels. And it takes a lot of discipline when you haven't played well for a couple quarters and a half to kind of stay focused on executing plays and not doing bad things, and they weren't able to do it.
Storylines entering this one were centered around quarterbacks, a young stud in Drake Maye, a journeyman in Sam Darnold, and the journey for Sam has been a ridiculous one. Now the first player in NFL history to win a Super Bowl while playing on his fifth team or later. Began with the Jets back in 2018, then the Panthers, Niners, Vikings, and now Super Bowl champion, Seattle Seahawks.
Drake Maye was already being labeled the new prototype, and as sources claim, defensive coordinators were calling him the hardest QB to game plan for since Patrick Mahomes first took the field. Add the Patriots' insane depth on defense, the lockdown corners, and the run-stuffing front seven that bullied the AFC all year, and the narrative became clear. New England wasn't supposed to lose this Super Bowl. They were supposed to start a dynasty reboot. Yet the biggest twist came from Seattle winning a game where Sam Darnold barely threw the ball. As sources claim, Darnold finished with less than 150 yards passing, and the Seahawks leaned on their defense so heavily that insiders joked they won without even using a quarterback. But even in defeat, the Patriots left the league spooked. Their rookie QB went toe-to-toe with the NFL's nastiest defense, their coaching staff showed elite-level adjustments, and their physical style rattled Seattle in ways fans didn't expect. This wasn't a collapse, it was a warning shot for the entire NFL. Here's where the scandal gets wild. According to sources connected to both sidelines, Seattle didn't beat the Patriots by playing better football. They beat them by pulling off one of the most unusual, unpredictable defensive strategies ever used in a Super Bowl. Insiders claim Mike McDonald basically dared Drake Maye to beat a 7 DB look that no rookie had ever faced for 4 quarters at full speed. Instead of blitzing, they crowded the passing lanes, suffocated the middle of the field, and played the receivers like they already knew every route concept New England had prepped. Analysts reviewing the film claim Seattle anticipated motions, read checkdowns before the snap, and forced Maye to play hero ball without giving him any space to operate. But here's the twist. Even when boxed into the tightest defensive shell he'd seen all year, Drake Maye refused to fold.
Vikings fans might be kicking themselves right about now, and I understand why, but I digress. Because, Sam, when you look at the stat line, 19 for 38, just barely over 200 yards, a touchdown. It's a ho-hum day at the office from a statistical standpoint, but it felt like exactly what Seattle needed.
It's the resilience from Sam Darnold. I think that's what his team resonated with the most. Think about it. These players come from different backgrounds, go through different struggles, and you get a quarterback like Sam Darnold who went through the ups and the downs of a career, not just the season, but a career in his ability to bounce back. I got a chance about 2.5 years ago to run into Sam Darnold at the airport. This is when he was a backup for San Francisco. After a couple years in Carolina, things didn't go so well. And there was the conversation about, man, is he a bust? Is he not? This dude was calm, cool, collected, confident, right?
As reports claim, he still extended plays, still created lanes with his legs, and still forced Seattle to adjust in the second half once the Patriots' offensive staff began countering the disguise-heavy coverages. What killed New England wasn't the quarterback. It wasn't the play calling. It wasn't the defense, which held Seattle to field goals until the very end. It was one thing and one thing only, a lack of possession time. The Patriots barely touched the ball after halftime because Seattle drained the clock with a run game that chewed up yardage just enough to force long drives even without explosive plays. Analysts claim the Patriots' defense only had one flaw all year, giving up 5 to 6 yard runs on early downs, and Seattle exploited that one weakness like their lives depended on it. But nobody in the league is fooled. Executives are calling this the most unsustainable Super Bowl win in modern history because relying on a QB who threw almost nothing and a run game that barely hit 4 yards per carry isn't a recipe for long-term dominance. The Patriots, though, they've got a franchise quarterback built for the next decade. This chapter hits different because the truth is coming straight from inside the league. As several defensive coordinators quietly admitted after the AFC Championship and again following the Super Bowl, the real panic point in the NFL isn't how the Patriots lost, it's how good Drake Maye already is. Sources claim that in closed-door owners' meetings, multiple executives brought up the same fear. This kid just finished year 1 and already looks like he's been reading NFL defenses for 6 years. That's the part nobody wants to say publicly. The Patriots didn't lose because of Drake Maye. They made the Super Bowl because of him. Analysts point to the numbers leaked through insiders. Maye finished the playoffs ranked top 3 in improvisation efficiency, off-platform accuracy, and scramble drill first downs. That combination hasn't been seen since the early Mahomes era, and experts say the league is terrified of what this looks like in year 2 with a stronger O-line and faster receivers. As one scout reportedly said, "If this is the floor, the ceiling is illegal." And here's the kicker. Multiple teams supposedly told insiders they wanted the Patriots out of the playoffs early because nobody wanted to be the franchise on the highlight reel getting torched by the rookie sensation. But once New England punched in their ticket to the Super Bowl, it sparked paranoia across the AFC. Every major contender started leaking anonymous quotes about lucky wins, unproven quarterbacks, and coaching gimmicks. Yet when the dust settled, the only thing proven was that the Patriots walked into every big game like they belonged there. Analysts claim Maye's leadership, cool temperament, and insane processing speed were the difference that kept New England competitive, even when Seattle's defense was playing out of its mind. And the same insiders now claim the NFL better get ready, because year 2 Drake Maye might be unstoppable. Mike Vrabel didn't just fix the Patriots, he rebuilt them from the inside out. Sources around the team say that the moment he walked into the facility, the energy shifted. No favoritism, no soft practice days, no excuses. He installed one rule across the entire building: earn every inch. Insiders claim that players were saying privately that Vrabel's practices were tougher than full contact scrimmages on other teams. And that's exactly why the Patriots turned from a rebuilding roster to a full-blown Super Bowl squad in under a year.
And now all of a sudden, he goes to Minnesota, does what he does last year, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. And so that steadiness, that confidence, that resilience, it resonated with me as a guy who played the game and now who watches the game from this seat. Man, I've been impressed.
Yeah, and when you think about Sam Darnold, there was a couple times during the season when, he turned the ball over a bunch now. He had 20 turnovers, none in the playoffs. And I can remember one game when he turned it over, and the question was asked to a couple of the defensive players, and they said, look, we're rolling with Sam Darnold. He's our guy. So he won the team over with his attitude and just who he is as a person. And those guys rallied around the quarterback, and he went through the playoffs clean, did not turn the ball over one time. Defense played good. This is how Seattle plays. This is why they won a Super Bowl.
Now here he is in his prime on a great team. Who knows where it's going from here, but just a really nice moment for Darnold.
And just one point, Trevor, you mentioned somewhat of a ho-hum stat line, and sometimes that's all you need. Right, look at Drake Maye. There was multiple interceptions, a pick six, fumbles, right? Sacked multiple times. Where Sam Darnold, he played clean. But when you have a defense that's the number 1 defense in the entire NFL, a running game that's one of the better running games, all of a sudden you don't need to do too much. Don't play out of character, and that's probably what was not necessarily most impressive, but most needed for Sam Darnold.
And that's a great point because when you have an outstanding defense, we always say defense travels, and it does. You can play anywhere.
According to league sources, the AFC didn't fear the Patriots' record. They feared the culture shift. Veterans around the league were calling New England a problem developing in real time because every week they got more disciplined, more physical, and more unpredictable. The defense under Vrabel became straight up vicious. Opposing running backs were averaging under 2.9 yards per carry over the final 8 weeks. Linebackers were blowing up screens before the ball even left the quarterback's hand, and the secondary, Multiple analysts said the Patriots' cornerback room was the best in the league by December. Sources claim AFC coordinators referred to it as a no-fly zone with no soft spots. The most shocking detail came from inside the locker room. Players told reporters anonymously that they believed the team had 3 more gears they never fully tapped into by season's end. With Drake Maye still adjusting, the offense didn't even scratch the surface of what it could become. And that's the part that scared rival teams the most. Vrabel's roster wasn't built for one run. It was built for a dynasty reboot. And as insiders claim, the professionalism, toughness, and discipline inside the Patriots building is why almost every expert still believes this squad will be back in the Super Bowl next year. Here's the final twist that has every insider talking. Even with Seattle raising the trophy, most analysts still believe the New England Patriots are the team built for the long haul. According to sources inside the league office, the Patriots' postseason run was being described as the creation of a monster because they combined a franchise quarterback, a top-tier defense, and a culture that players want to buy into. Drake Maye ended his rookie season with record-breaking efficiency numbers under pressure, becoming the first-year QB to hit over 80 pressured completions in a postseason. Analysts say those numbers are outrageous, especially considering the Patriots' offensive line was still a work in progress. On the defensive end, insiders claim the Patriots will return every major contributor except one rotational lineman, meaning the same unit that smothered elite offenses in January is coming back even nastier. And the biggest storyline heading into next year, every rival team is terrified that Maye will come back with elite chemistry after a full offseason of real reps, something he barely got ahead of his rookie campaign. Multiple scouts told reporters that year 2 quarterbacks with Maye's traits usually take massive leaps, and that's why odds makers in Vegas already pushed New England into the top 3 Super Bowl favorites for next season. They weren't supposed to get this good this fast. They weren't supposed to reach the Super Bowl with a new coach, a new QB, and a roster that young, but they did, and they're only getting more dangerous. And that's why experts say the Patriots didn't lose a championship. They previewed the empire that's coming next. The NFL better tighten up, because next season Drake Maye and the Patriots might just run the table and take the whole thing. And if you're rocking with this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more.